Hello, hi, and welcome back, dear students. As I promised in our first video, now we will have detailed discussion on each chapter. Those who all are watching for the first time, please have a look on the first video, that is 12th Chemistry Introduction. And yes, please share, like, and subscribe to the channel. So here we are going to discuss with the first chapter, that is solid state. I am going to discuss this chapter in different parts. So here is the part 1. Now what points we are going to discuss in this part? General characteristics of solid state, types of solids, and classification of crystalline solids. Now, as we know, matter can exist in 3 states as solid, liquid, and gas. Here in this lesson, we will discuss about different arrangements of particles in a solid state and how different properties depend on these arrangements. So let's start our discussion with the characteristic properties of solid state. They have definite mass, volume, and shape. Their intermolecular distances are short. Intermolecular forces are very strong. They are incompressible and rigid. And their constituent particles have fixed positions, so they oscillate about their mean positions as shown in the picture. Now the types of solids. So there are 2 types of solids: crystalline solids and amorphous solids. First is crystalline solids. Let's discuss the properties. So there is a regular pattern of arrangement of particles which repeats itself periodically in crystalline solids. So as you can see in the image, all the particles are situated at the corners of the block, and this arrangement repeats periodically in whole crystal. So there is a regular pattern of arrangement in these crystalline solids. Next is they have sharp melting points. For example, ice is a crystalline solid which melts at a specific sharp temperature, that is 0 degrees Celsius. So they have sharp melting points. And the next is they are anisotropic in nature. So what is meant by anisotropic in nature? Look at this image. This is the specific arrangement of particles in a crystal. There are some particles in red color and some are in blue color. Now look at this directions carefully: C to D and A to B. The arrangement of crystals is different along A to B and along C to D. So as you change the direction, obviously their properties also changes. This is nothing but anisotropy. What are the examples of crystalline solids? So ice, salts like lithium chloride, sodium chloride, metals and materials like diamond, graphite, etc. So here is lithium chloride crystal, diamond, and the structure of graphite. The next is amorphous solid. So this is how amorphous solids look like. Now the constituent particles in amorphous solids are randomly arranged. As we discussed in crystalline solids, there is a regular pattern of arrangement of particles. But here the particles are randomly arranged. So as you can see, there are some pentagons, some hexagons. So these particles are randomly arranged in the solids. Next is they melt over a range of temperature For example, rubber, which is amorphous solid, melts in the range of 1400 to 1600 degrees Celsius. So in a crystalline solids, they have sharp melting points, but here they melt over a range of temperature. Next is they are isotropic in nature. Means as in crystalline solids, their properties changes as you change the direction of crystal. In amorphous solids, their properties remain as it is as you change the direction, which means they are isotropic in nature. And the last is they are also known as pseudosolids or supercooled liquids, as they have tendency to flow. Now what are the examples of amorphous solids? So glass, plastic, rubber are the different examples of amorphous solids, as you can see in these images. So let's revise quickly crystalline and amorphous solids. There is regular pattern of arrangement of particles. They have sharp melting points and they are anisotropic in nature. Whereas amorphous solids, there is a random pattern of arrangement. They don't have sharp melting points and they are isotropic in nature. Okay, so next point is classification of crystalline solids. Now look at these images. First is sodium chloride crystal. Second is well-known hardest substance, that is diamond. Next is ice and copper. Now in sodium chloride, it composed of ions, positively and negatively charged ions. In case of diamond, which is also crystalline solid, but all the carbon atoms are held together by covalent bonds. In case of ice, which is again a crystalline solid, but it is made up of water molecules. And in case of copper, which is a metal which is also made up of different atoms of copper. So depending upon all these types of crystalline solids, we classify them as ionic crystals, covalent network crystals, molecular crystals and metallic crystals. Let's discuss one by one now. First is ionic crystals. Now in ionic crystals, the constituent particles are charged ions, which means positively and negatively charged ions. Now these ions are held together by electrostatic force of attraction. So the binding forces in them is electrostatic force of attraction. They are hard, brittle. They have high melting points. They are non-conductors in a solid state, but they becomes a good conductor in a molten state. What are the examples? Sodium chloride, potassium chloride, etc. Next is covalent network crystals. Now the constituent particles in covalent network crystals are atoms which are held together by a covalent bonds. So in the diamond, all the carbon atoms are held together by a covalent bonds. They are very hard, incompressible, they have high melting points and boiling points, and they are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Examples are diamond, quartz, boron nitride, etc. Next is molecular solids or molecular crystals. The constituent particles in them is obviously molecules, as the name suggests. Now these are bound together by London dispersion forces or dipole-dipole interactions or hydrogen bonds. They are very soft and hence they have low melting points, they are poor conductors of heat and electricity, and examples are ice, benzoic acid, etc. Now the next one is metallic crystals. In metallic crystals, the constituent particles are cations which are embedded in a electron cloud. So all these cations and electrons are held together by a metallic bonds. They are soft to very hard, so hence they have low to very high melting points. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. Examples are metals, sodium, magnesium, copper, etc. So this is the table which evaluates all the types of crystalline solids and in their properties in detail. Okay, so that's it for now. Start solving the practice questions from your textbook, and your textbooks are available online. Links are given in the description box, so do check it out. Till our next video, bye bye, take care and keep in touch.